What's going on, Whalers fam, and welcome to a tournament video. Today is the Coolwick Shootout. It is the September edition of this tournament. I'm back with the same team I bowled in August with, and we're going for better. Now, this past league week, as a lot of you have seen by now, has not gone great. We have been pretty much 500, or even worse, lower than 500. Our game's in a decent place considering we're making it up with sparing, but one critical spare miss tonight does continue to hurt us. So, yeah, we got a spare. And that's kind of where we're at the moment. Spare, 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 and spare, because if we leave an open, yeah, that's an instant minus. So that's something to look at going into this evening. Not a lot has changed. We're also bowling with the same people we did last month. In this tournament, though, we are bowling we're bowling against everybody basically. So that's the best way to put it. But we want to have the highest team total at the end of the tournament in order to get into a cash spot. I believe there's 7 tonight, maybe 8. So we just got to bowl good like we did in the last one, try to copy it again, and we can very well cash again. Thank you guys for watching the video so far. Make sure you tap that like and subscribe for me, and I will catch up with you after the first game of action here on this Saturday night. We are bowling just 24 hours ahead or after my Friday series. See y'all in a bit. Okay, so as game 1 winds down here, we're sparing, sparing, and sparing. I leave a second open here, that's when I'm going to want back. As you could tell, well, in the full version of this, you'll notice There's actually a couple bowlers, one on the left side and one on the right, that have 300 games going on. So out of the gate, they're bowling really well. As for us, though, we're kind of behind the eight ball, but we're trying to at least make it back to something in the high 800 series. We're pretty close, but for me, I just have to keep sparing because the strikes haven't really been there for me this week, so we kind of got to make up for it. Some of my spare balls shots should have been spare balls as opposed to what I used, but that's just the price I pay some weeks when I bowl. It happens, but Marty gets a nice strike going into the 10th frame here. Sarah's going to wrap up game one with 166 pins, and Elias is up now. However, there's no overlay because the person I bowled with in Turtles to the left that you just saw, you can go back and watch it again if you want, just hit his first, I'm pretty sure it was his first 300 game. So, big milestone night for Joseph. If you want to watch his bowling, feel free to check out my Turtle 9-pin no tap video that went down in Newport Richie because I was on the same pair as him. And that's how I know who he is. But yeah, his first 300 game happened tonight. As for us, though, back to our team, we finished with a 97 in game one. Marty gets this nice strike to finish game one. And our scores are kind of low with the exception of Marty. So we got a little bit of work to do, but our team total's not bad and we're not out of it. So we just got to continue to put good games together. And if we do that, we should be in good position by the end of the night. And that's the way I see it currently. But as for my game right now, 3 opens isn't really ideal. A miscue in the 10th frame costs us a lot. If I spare that, it's a 165 plus game. Without it, obviously, you see, it's a 158. So critical spares that we need in these games are what's keeping our score down. But we also got to try to figure out how to strike because that magic that we had in the summer has definitely faded away. Hence why I called this video a fade away video, subject line at least. So yeah, we got to hunt for more strikes going into game two. I'll catch up with you in a bit. Okay, so just about past the halfway mark of game two, we only have one open at this current moment, and that being a right side spare miscue, which happens. It's typical of me to do. We're not expected to be perfect on that side quite yet. We pick up the spare here in the 6th and continue forward going into the 7th frame now. Score's looking okay though. We're not looking completely terrible. We just got to stay out of trouble, and that's exactly what's going on. My spare ball is getting a lot of work tonight, despite it being the one ball that technically shouldn't see the lane as much, but it is anyway. Spare, 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 and spare. That's pretty much the name of this video at this point, and that's where we're at. We're not really striking a lot, as you noticed, so Gotta stay sharp. Anyhow, Elias gets back on the strike train again after a split. He's kind of had a rough game in this one, at least through 8. Now it's my turn. I get a nice little arm swing in there after I drop the ball and strike, which is one of the rare strikes that I finally get to go in my way. Sarah's back up here to get a good foundation frame going. As for Elias, it's his turn again. I think he threw it a little tight into the pocket, but he still gets the strike. He's got a double going into the 10th. Now it's my turn to try to do the same thing. And we leave the same 2 pins on the right side again. One actually falls after a second I look away. Sadly, I mess up the spare here. This is another costly right spare miss. Although that's my only open, or my only other open, despite the second frame one at this current moment. Now it's my time to try to get another good shot in here. This one looks okay, but it ends up falling a little weird. And I mean, this looks okay on the way I see it, but the ball goes a little too far over. It only takes 2 pins. We finish with 160. So we're almost to the Coolwick average, but we're still finding problems. But if we pick up all those spares, we probably end up at the 200s again. But yeah, because the strikes aren't really falling our way through two games so far, we're going to have to fight for it, at least for the rest of the night. Our team total doesn't look terrible at the moment. It's relatively okay. We're still at least in the hunt, and our team name is at least at a chance to move into a cash spot. But it depends on the outcome of this game for us, although obviously we're kind of struggling and going through it. So, yeah. Anyhow, if you haven't already, make sure you check out my shorts on the channel. They're just short clips of what you see here. I greatly appreciate your support on my short clips. It means a lot, and it helps us get to 600 subscribers a lot faster. I'm going to wrap up my discussion of Game 2 here, and I'm going to finish my discussion midway through Game 3. Okay, so Game 3 is still in the works. Elias is going to get a nice baby split spare there. Thought I'd include it anyway. Anyhow, as for me, it's my turn. We're looking pretty okay-ish, not too great, but we still have miscues. We had a bad miscue in the first frame. Fourth frame was a 10-pin miss. I probably should have got the pin yanked before I shot at it because it probably would have went down if I got it out of there. But these are things that I don't think about, and I probably should have made the call to the front desk for it, but I didn't. So I don't think the pin's to blame though for my 10-pin miss because the ball was already going there regardless. Anyhow, Elias is back up off of his split spare. He's going to get a nice strike here with a little bit of help to the 10. As for us, we're trying to move the needle on the team total. It is getting there, but slowly. I finally strike in the 6th. Once again with the radioactive vibe. So we used my Quantum Evo too. We went from my Beast to my Quantum Evo to the Vibe now. That's kind of the balls I've rotated through in this video, with the white dot being my spare ball video in the video. The only ball that never got used was my Rhino. There's a double, finally a double of the night. First one of the night, and it's kind of late in the evening. If I can get this strike here, we have a chance at a 500 series, but it can fade away depending on what happens here. And of course, we have a 9 count, so that 500 series is slowly creeping out the window. But at least we get the spare to give ourselves a chance. Marty's back up here. He's looking for a good shot. He goes on for 155 into the 10th frame. So to finish the evening, Sarah's going to wrap up here. She finishes the evening with a 170 with this ball right here. Then it's Elias's turn. He's working off of a triple at the moment. He'll get another strike here and walk away with another 212 game. As for me though, we got my turn now. First ball goes up. We leave the 10 pin. This is my second and final 10 pin of the night. Spare shot looks okay. We take it down, move on to the fill ball. This is my only fill ball shot of this tournament video. Wasn't my best showing in this tournament, although we've struggled in this tournament in the past, and past stats show that. So we wrap up with a 497 tonight. Marty's just going to throw a ball in here. Marty finishes up game 3 with a 195. So our team total comes out to 2,677. That's where we're at, which isn't really quite enough. If we make it to 2,800, we have a solid chance, but 2,600 kind of puts you in the mid pack. And then there's the obvious lower end of it, of the scale. But yeah, for me, we have some daylight in this 179 game. We're finally bowling something good. I bowled after this, like 5 games after this, and one of them finally ended up being a 200. So hopefully we have some momentum going into the next league week, as tonight finishes this current league week. So yeah, Wednesday Night Mixed will be my next video after this one. Anyhow, onto the stat breakdown. 158, 160, 179, and we just missed 500 by 3 pins, but we're still 5 pins over series average. Team stats game by game: 897, 829, and 951 for 2600. So if we get a couple more pins in game 1 and a handful more in game 2, we probably have a good shot at the cash out option. Notable things to talk about: only 6 strikes in this video, 73% spare conversion. For a 165 series average, we average 164 and 8 open frames, which a few of them we probably wanted back. I also showed the game by game score breakdown for each player. I think this is how I'm going to format Coolwick videos at the end going forward, because it at least shows you how everybody else fared. Sarah was a handful, like maybe a spare behind me in total. Elias with a 549 and Marty with a 565. So yeah, I mean, we probably have some pins missing here and there. Wasn't our greatest showing in comparison to last month, but everything's relatively still in the right place, at least with how we bowl. As for me though, I've hit a lot of spares this week in these league videos, and the videos will show you that. It may help us in the long run going through some more spares than normal. But hopefully next week we can get in a better place, get more strikes, things like that. I am looking to slowly move to 15 pounds, so this will probably be the last video that you see working with me working with 14-pound bowling balls. So yeah, we'll talk about that next video. Anyhow, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next League Night video. Take care once again, Whalers fam, and I will catch you on Wednesday, where we'll talk about my move to 15 pounds. See you soon.